I have a problem. I am stupid busy. I mean crazy busy. There's so much to do around here, I needed somebody's help. What to do? Hello, can I speak to the Department of God Help Me, I'm overwhelmed? Yes, thank you, I'll hold. So I hired my twin brother, John. John meet XDA, XDA meet John. And although I'm teaching John how to edit and how to deal with the gear here, he's not exactly tech savvy. We spoke to Recognized Developer Rovo89, or otherwise known as Rob, who is the genius behind some serious open source goodness. In his Android framework, you don't need to worry about modifying APKs, compiling, decompiling code. You don't even need to flash your ROM. What it does do is give you godlike powers over your device. It's called the Xposed Framework. And we speak to Rob about the stumbling blocks that new users tend to experience and how to prevent them. Xposed Framework. I can expose my framework. Oh God. Oh. Sorry, Mom. Welcome XDA crowd, my name is Jayce, and today we begin a journey uncovering development tools for you. Rovo89 introduced a brand new concept to the world with Xposed Framework. It essentially allows you to hack any ROM without coding, without cracking the ROM open, or even flashing through a zip recovery. The possibilities are endless. So we tracked down the talented German to ask him what the #1 stumbling block for new users are and how to prevent it. You may want to stay to the end because he does make a request that future developers may be interested in.
Yeah, well, the problem I saw when I started with modifying Android 1.5 years ago was that if you wanted to create a patch, you had to recreate it every time when you installed a new ROM, when there was a new version out. So I thought, well, there has to be better ways to separate the original code from what you have modified. What Xposed mainly does is it replaces existing methods with its own method, which can then do callbacks to modules. So you can, for example, add code which should be executed before a certain method, maybe before a method provided by the framework or by any application. Mm-hmm. And by this you can, just inject any code you want, and by this change the behavior of the applications. And this is a key function of Xposed, that it can change, a pointer. There's a pointer to all the methods, all the Java methods that are implemented. So there's a list. Okay, we have the name of the function here. And it then says, well, this is the memory address where all the Java code is stored in binary form. And Xposed changes this pointer to its own method. So that whenever Java thinks it calls the original method, it actually ends up in Xposed's function. And then Xposed can do some stuff to find out, well, where am I, which method was supposed to be called, then notify some modules about that this method will be called, but then also, of course, call back to the original function. Then this original function is executed, and there can be other callbacks which have to be run after that method. One main goal for the development of Xposed was to make it easy for people to write their own modules. And a module is nothing else than a normal Android app. It just has some additional metadata. So you define, just by adding a few keys to the declaration, You just say, well, now this is an Xposed module, and then Xposed will consider it and show it in a list of modules you can enable. I would really suggest it for small modifications, especially if they can be applied to multiple phones and ROMs.
Great. Okay.
This is where it has the greatest power. Yeah, I think there's one major hurdle, and that is that applications run in different processes. Processes, just like on your home computer, it's a different program really, and different programs have different memory they can access. So this is absolutely clear to you. If you have two applications, of course, from the Facebook app you can't access any variables or whatever in the Twitter app. But with Xposed, you have some code which is loaded, well, just like the super user I told about. It's basically inside every single app. It's the same coding, but you can use it anywhere. And for example, if you ask Xposed to call you at the right times, you will be called in every single process that is started. Now, the big challenge here is to know what process you are in, and to understand that if you, for example, set the value of a variable in one app, you won't be able to access it in a different app, even though it's still your same class. Usually you have a class, and in another app, this class just isn't available, so you wouldn't even have the idea that you could access it. But if you say, for example, okay, I have this variable, was Facebook app started? And whenever the Facebook app starts, you just set that variable to true. And then you check for the Twitter app and want to look at that variable. And it will always be false, because even though that's the same variable, it's a different process. And different processes, different memories. And I think this is something you really have to think about a couple of times before really understanding that it's not so easy to, for example, exchange some codes between different apps. Like, very prominent example, you have a settings app and you want, if you click that button, you want the other app to do something just like the app settings module, where you can set the density for a certain app. Then you can't simply just change a variable and say now this app has this density, and you can't just call a method which sets the density, because you're still in the context of your settings app. You're not in the context of the target app, and therefore you have to find your ways around passing information from one context to the other one. I think something that would be useful for Xposed and to allow it to grow even further, we have a repository of modules already, but it has some downsides, and some things don't work, and especially, well, you can only access it via the web browser. What I would really love to see is someone who could build new website for just uploading your modules and or at least managing them. And in the end, it would be great if that could end up as an application on your smartphone with updates and so on. Just not sure if that is a good place to mention that. I think I will also mention it in my thread, but if someone is interested in Xposed and wants to support it, but might not be, the application developer, or not so much interested in hacking, but has some experience in creating websites, like with Drupal or so, then I would really love to see that. And
okay, so you're help me understand this. So